Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on Space Couch today I want to talk about other uses of the Dragon capsule other than, say, flying to the ISS. Now, Elon retweeted an article that discusses how you would use a Dragon capsule as a Mars sample return vehicle. You know, it could be launched on the Falcon Heavy by 2022. You know, you'd use a cargo Dragon that's been retrofitted instruments for soil analysis, a Mars ascent vehicle, an Earth return vehicle, all that sort of thing. And all of this is actually technically feasible with our current levels of technology. We don't need anything new tech-wise to be invented. Now, a combination of, say, a supersonic parachute, a low angle of attack when you're coming into the Martian atmosphere, and something like the Super Draco thrusters, that would allow the Dragon to land. Obviously, you can't just have the parachute, there's not enough atmosphere, it'll slow it down a little bit. The angle of attack through the atmosphere will slow it down a lot, and then you can use your Dracos for your pinpoint landing. Now, if it has, I'm not sure what it's called, but you know those like fuel extraction units where it processes the gases from the air and turns it into liquid fuel. If it has one of those, it'll be able to tank up and launch itself back into orbit with the samples to return them to Earth. Now, as exciting as that prospect is, and it's very exciting, Elon followed it up with several more tweets. One of them said Dragon can actually land on any surface in the solar system, barring the sun of course, liquid or solid, you know. And he also said, well, I'm glad people are starting to realise what some of the applications of the Dragon are. He further tweeted that the upcoming Falcon Heavy launch, which the inaugural launch is due next year, in its expendable configuration, so no reusability, no X-wings, no landing legs, all of that, you know. In that expendable configuration, it could launch a fully loaded Dragon to Mars, or a light Dragon, as it were, to the moons of Jupiter. And he concluded the tweet by saying, Europa would be cool. First and foremost, what this reminds me of is when Elon was trying to find the Mars plan on the NASA website, and there wasn't one. You know, it's like, there's a lot of talk of missions to Europa, and it's all very exciting, and we're all very much in favour of it. But it's like next decade, or the decade after that, the 2020s or the 2030s at the earliest, including the travel time getting there. Now, it would be very Elon Musk to just, as it were, throw up a Dragon instead of just a payload simulator on the Falcon Heavy's first flight and get us there 15 to 20 years early. I mean, after all, Elon is very much aware of the old maxim, if you want something doing, do it yourself. So Europa, you know, I mean, I think it's going to be, these private ventures are going to be the way that things are done in the future. Exploration of the solar system, it will be corporations like, say, SpaceX, educational institutes running their own space programs, and of course the government bodies like NASA. So, where else could Dragon go? What else could it be used for? I mean, he mentions a liquid or a solid surface, so for my mind that's screaming Titan. You know, how about landing on that world, you know? Either in one of those methane lakes, and maybe they could find somewhere refuelling from there without setting the planet on fire, or on the solid ground, as it were. I mean, NASA's been talking the last year or two about a submarine to Titan, but this would be far more practical. You can just imagine how much it would cost for NASA to develop a submarine mission concept for Titan, you know? Definitely far more practical for this. There's several cargo Dragons lying around, as it were, that could be repurposed. NASA doesn't want to reuse those capsules, you know, for deliveries to the ISS. Each time it needs to be a new one, and they haven't been certified for that. But we know SpaceX, they're all about reusability. So yes, I'm sure that those Dragon capsules, once they've returned from the ISS, they could be repurposed into exploration vehicles. And I bet you it costs like an order of magnitude less than a NASA mission. Launch costs notwithstanding, of course, you know. Definitely, it would be much cheaper to use that as your base platform and then have a standard package of instruments, rather than every single time it's a totally different spacecraft, apart from I think it was the Voyagers, maybe the Pioneers. We definitely need to standardise our exploration platforms, you know. That's why half the time it's costing so much, because every time it's different. So where else could we send a Dragon? Enceladus, you know, I mean, that's probably my favourite moon of the solar system, and I think Elon's also said it's an interesting world. How about trying to descend through those geothermal vents as far as that be possible? If that is in fact possible, you know, would we actually, in the end, come all the way down to a liquid surface? Who knows? And obviously, Europa, as Elon says, you know, definitely be interesting to land on it. Just seeing the view of Jupiter in the sky would be incredible. Tell you something else that would be pretty cool, would be a Dragon that would like skim over the rings of Jupiter. So we actually get to see what it actually looks like close up. That would be really cool, definitely. So anyway, the Falcon Heavy inaugural flight, it's got to have some sort of payload or payload simulator on it. Elon doesn't like being wasteful, as you know, so I do hope that we'll see a Dragon on there, even if it's only to go to the moon orbit and come back to test out the heat shield. However, given that Elon's publicly musing about this, then hopefully, probably, who knows, he's already planned some sort of Pathfinder mission or set of missions, you know. Obviously Mars would be the prime candidate for that, given his colonisation plans. But yeah, if Dragon could become like the standard platform for exploration, it would be very useful. After it's been used for its ISS flight, it returns to Earth, gets repurposed, and then sent on its way to explore, I don't know, Chariklo, wherever, somewhere we haven't seen before, somewhere distant. Maybe you could even use it for the Uranus or the Neptune orbiters. Imagine landing on, say, Triton or Miranda. I bet you would be able to do that. And obviously there's now talk of a Pluto orbiter mission after the flyby. Perhaps it could be used for something like that, who knows. No doubt as we get closer to that inaugural launch next year, Elon will let us know just what exactly it is he has planned to put on there. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or a suggestion for what sort of missions you think the Dragon could be used for on the Falcon Heavy. I mean, they could send it anywhere in the solar system, into Venus to see how the heat shield works on there, to Mercury, anywhere that has a solid or a liquid surface that isn't a gas giant. Alternately, if you did enjoy this video, why don't you hit that big thumbs up?